Now that I've talked about my worst movies of 2024, it's time for my best! There were a lot of movies I enjoyed this year. Needless to say, this video is entirely opinion-based. I'm sure yours is different, and that's totally fine. I'm also sure my list is going to change down the road, as there were films I didn't get the chance to see, and movies that haven't had a US release. Anyway, let's get into this. Number 10. Anora. This movie was a pleasant surprise. It dives into the intricate nature of human relationship, particularly focusing on Anya's longing for affection. The film also showcases a candid portrayal of the darker aspects of sex work. Not to mention, it was hilarious. In a tasteful way, of course. Number 9. Inside Out 2. This film was a fantastic follow-up to the first Inside Out. It not only revisited familiar emotions, but also introduced new ones. I found myself laughing out loud in the theater, and that ending was quite emotional, and at times, the film felt really personal for me. Number 8. Wicked Part 1. As someone unfamiliar with the musical or the book that this film is based on, I can say that it truly lives up to the hype. The film serves as a prequel to The Wizard of Oz, with new perspectives. Additionally, the production quality was excellent, and the cast delivered outstanding performances, and the songs were great. I'm certainly looking forward to Part 2. Number 7.
Or to ignore the fact that all these stories iterate into Star Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Can you imagine thousands of years from now people accepting Jar Jar as a significant religious figure?
Heretic. This was the A24 I needed after a certain other film. Heretic raises thought-provoking questions about faith, morality, and the role of religion in modern society. Plus, the writing was sharp and engaging. Additionally, it incorporates humor without ruining the tone, and Hugh Grant carries the film. Number 6. Transformers 1. It's a shame this movie underperformed because it is one of the best animated movies of 2024, and one of the best Transformers installments. This film is a perfect example of how to do an origin story, showcasing the relationship between Optimus Prime and Megatron, and their falling out. This film shows that there is more that meets the eye to this IP than selling toys, and I hope this gains a cult following. Number 5.
I got him!
Sammy, those are onions.
Abigail. Vampires have experienced a steady resurgence, and this film is a notable example. It starts as an ordinary crime thriller, but turns into a vampire flick. The movie offers a wild ride filled with scares, humor, carnage, and emotional depth. Not to mention the cast was awesome. Although the film unfortunately flopped at the box office, I am pleased to see it gain a cult following. Also, rest in peace, Angus Cloud. Number 4. Nosferatu. Another vampire movie, this one being a remake of the classic silent film from 1922. While it follows the original's plot points, it also has its own identity. The film returns vampires to their monstrous roots and explores morality, evil, sexuality, and desire. Not to mention the gothic aesthetic was top-notch, and the performances were outstanding. Number 3. Memoir of a Snail. While this film is somewhat depressing, it features dark humor that is actually funny and does not detract from the overall narrative. The movie has a purpose behind its melancholy, addressing themes such as grief, loneliness, identity, personal growth, love, and breaking free from one's chains. The ending in particular was powerful and beautiful enough to secure its place here. Number 2. The Wild Robot. This film is what DreamWorks needed after the disappointment that was Kung Fu Panda 4, and a certain movie that I refuse to acknowledge. The film uses 3D animation with a 2D aesthetic, creating a gorgeous look that truly captures the feeling of the wilderness. I found myself laughing and feeling quite emotional throughout the movie. Going forward, I want more of these films from DreamWorks. Before I get into number 1, I have some honorable mentions. Deadpool and Wolverine. This film was fan service and a multiverse movie done right. Plus, it was a nice swan song to the Fox Marvel era. Flow. This film was just beautiful. No dialogue, just a cat on a journey. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I haven't seen any of the Mad Max movies, but hearing that this was a prequel, I checked it out and I have to say it was a great introduction to the franchise. The best Christmas pageant ever. This was not only a good family film, but also a good faith-based movie. Not to mention it was legit funny. Hundreds of beavers. This film was a great blend of old school slapstick and gaming. And my number one movie of 2024 is Look Back. I had the pleasure of attending the Fathom event screening for this, and it was one of my best theater experiences. This film had me laughing out loud and brought me to the brink of tears. It beautifully explored the themes of creativity, friendship, loss, grief, and what it means to be an artist. As an aspiring storyteller who has returned to drawing, the film resonated with me deeply, and I wasn't bothered at all by the short runtime, as the film delivered a powerful and complete experience. So those are my top 10 movies of 2024. What are yours? Let me know in the comments. Next time, I will be talking about shows of 2024.